Hello, this is Tristan from heartratemonitor.co.uk, and this is our second of our videos for the TomTom Runner2 Cardio music. If you haven't seen the first one, please watch that one first, because in that one we talk about the TomTom Runner2 as a activity tracker and also its ability to store internal music and send that using Bluetooth to your cordless headphones provided. So yeah, if you haven't seen the first video, please take a quick look at that. This second video looks at the Runner 2 as a sports watch. Calling it the Runner 2 does sort of put it into a bit of a pigeonhole. It's not just for runners. It's a highly competent sports watch for people who bike, outdoor swimming as well, indoor treadmill, gym, etc. Anybody. It's a general multi-sport fitness monitor, like the Garmin Forerunner 235. It monitors your heart rate throughout the day if you wish it to. It's a sleep monitor as well as an activity tracker. So anybody who spend some time on the saddle, maybe in the gym and running, it's a really good training partner. Okay, so we're just going to look at some of the main features that you get in training modes. I'm indoors, so I won't get GPS. So when I'm going to use an indoor. Let's just go to gym. Yeah, we're going to use the gym. So as you can see, I'm using the up and down toggle switch here to choose between the different activities. I'm going to go down to gym, and then if I'm ready to train, I press this button here. The heart at the top because it's looking for my heart rate. If I'm lucky, it will pick up the heart rate off my finger. It probably has. Now if I pressed on the right side now, it would be ready to go and I would start training. If, however, I want to do one of two things, I can go down here. If you look at here, the outside of this here shows you what to press on the, so up takes you to your recent activities, and then down takes you to the settings. I'll come back to all the settings in a minute. So ready to train, it's got my heart rate. It is picking up from my finger. It's probably not right, I don't expect it to be. It's not a fair test, so yeah, let's ignore the heart rate, please. So now we're into training mode. The Runner 2, all the training screens have got 3 display fields, a large one and 2 small ones. You set what you see on the bottom of the 2 small ones, and that is repeated then for each view you go to. You'll always have those 2 there, so you choose for the different sports what you want to see in those data fields. So you can see the heart rate now is probably a bit more representative of my finger while I'm talking. So I chose heart rate zone and time of day to be in the small windows, but you can choose whatever you want, determined normally by what your sport is. So I have different things in different windows for my different sports profiles. So while we are training, if you go up and down, we'll change the main display. If you go right, you can see some extra views. Those show you, there's a heart rate graph there. That's a sort of your heart rate range while you've been training and the time that you've spent within the different zones. So as this shows me here now, I've got a heart rate of about 80, so I'm currently in what would be my easy zone. Obviously I'm not going to train at that level, but if you want to improve your endurance, then you'd want to try and spend most of your time in zone 3 endurance. For fat burning, you would want to spend most of your time in zone 2. So if you go to this screen, it shows me that I've so far spent 100% of my time in the easy zone. I think this is a really good feature for people with specific zones, with specific goals. Understanding how long you spend in different heart rate training zones at different training intensities really will help you to achieve your your goals. So well done, TomTom. That's a great feature. Similar also to features you'll get in the Polar M400 and V800. But yeah, very good. So press once on the left to pause. Once you have paused, if you were listening to music, for example, you could go and change your playlist. I'm going to change to the Foo Fighters and then shuffle, and then restart the exercise. So you can change the music while you're training. You can obviously change the volume on the headphones themselves. If you finished, you just press and hold the left hand side, and that's the end of the training session. So if I go back into that, there's the training session. It lasted 2 minutes 22, average heart rate 77, and I burnt 7 calories. Okay, let's look at the different styles of training. This again is there's two very, well, there's lots of great things with this watch, but I really do like these features. Not all training is just going for a run. If I'm just going to go for a run, I'd leave it in none. If I've got a specific goal, I can set a goal, so it can be either distance-based, time-based, or calorie-based. So for example, if I want to go and run 3.1 miles, which is a 5k, I set that, I then go and run it, like that, and it's now going to alert me when I've achieved that distance. So if you want to burn a certain amount of calories, or run a certain distance, then that's how you would achieve that goal. So as you can see, it was really simple. I can just set it there, press, go. Similarly, on some products, setting up intervals can be a right faff. On the TomTom Runner2, it's brilliant and it's so easy. Interval training is essential. If you want to improve your speed, endurance, and power, then you need to do intervals. Intervals are great. Just plodding along at the same old pace all the time, not something I really subscribe to. Intervals, I try and do intervals at least once a week. So with this watch, choose intervals, set a warm-up. So the warm-up can be either distance or time. I'm going to set it as a time, 4 minutes. And then I just press twice on the right hand side, and it's taking me now to my work interval. So this is the harder intensity work. I want it to be distance, and I want it to be 1 mile. And my rest is going to be a timed rest of 3 minutes. I'm going to repeat that 5 times. I'm going to cool down at the end. I'm going to have a timed cool down of 4 minutes. And now that's it, ready to go. So obviously it's not going to pick up the top flashing there because it can't find GPS, but if I had GPS, I'd just press this button once and then it would start my warm-up. So again, praise to TomTom for that. It's made interval setting really easy. As you saw on the previous training page, there was a couple of the training screen is split into 3, the large one and then 2 small ones on the bottom. This is where you set what you want to see. So when I'm running, let's say I always want to know what's my average pace been. That's going to be always on the bottom left, and I always want to know what my current heart rate zone is. Say for example, so they would now be there and they'd be permanently displayed. Again, as I showed a minute ago, you can change your music. So let me just go to something that doesn't use GPS. Treadmill, by the way, the TomTom Runner2 has a built-in accelerometer, so it will tell you how far and what pace you've been running at based on the accelerometers within the watch. You can calibrate those, so if you're on a treadmill you can calibrate them to be more accurate, and again that's very simple to do. In fact, it's just I can't remember where it is, I'm sorry, but there is an option to calibrate that. I'm just going to show what I was going to show you. Oh yeah, the screen views. So here I've got heart rate, and then I've got on the bottom I've always got distance, duration and distance, because when you set that, you're setting it for the actual sports profile. So you will see different things in the bottom depending on which sport you're actually undertaking. I'm just going to go back to something for a minute. when you do intervals, you want to go and run your interval or cycle your interval, whatever you're doing. You don't necessarily want to be analysing everything while you're doing it, but the app is very good at giving you a summary. So here's a bike session I did. Now you can see there's the splits. Now those splits were based on auto lapping every mile, I think it was. But if we go to laps, you'll see that the laps have got a distance of 1.5 mile, 1 mile, half mile. So 1.5 mile was a warm-up. This is set using intervals. So I did a 1.5 mile warm-up, then a mile of effort, half mile recovery, a mile of effort, half mile recovery, mile of effort, half mile recovery. And that's all been recorded there in the app without me pressing any buttons on the watch. So each time there was a change of interval state, the watch put that down as sort of as a virtual lap. So again, that's a really useful feature. I'm going to bring this one to a close. Hopefully I've said everything I need to. It really is a good watch. It's got a scratch resistant lens. It's light, it's slim, it's comfortable to wear. It connects to Android phones and iPhones obviously, and it's been a pleasure using it and testing it, and I hope to keep hold of it for a little bit longer. If I do think of anything else I haven't covered, I'll do another video and pop that online. So please remember to visit heartratemonitor.co.uk. This is Tristan Haskins, and I've been testing the TomTom Runner2 Cardio music. Thank you.